Welcome back to my Editor-in-Chief desk, where I help you live and work like a writer. There is no such thing as a quick proof or a quick proofreading. One more time for the people in the back. There is no such thing as a quick proofreading. I laugh whenever someone asks me if I could give a piece of writing a quick proofreading. And I've shared this with other editors as well. And they agree that it is just false. It's contradictory. What someone is really thinking of when they request a quick proofreading is just a glance at your writing. That's what they think proofreading is. Just glance at the writing, make sure everything looks okay. But that is not what proofreading is. And it's sort of jumbled in with the fact that, or the reason why someone might think that proofreading is a quick glance at text, is because traditionally, proofreading is the last step after editing, and it is when you've already thoroughly edited a piece of writing. The piece of writing has been fact-checked. It's just the final step, but that doesn't mean it's quick. It doesn't mean that it's fast. And in fact, it's actually the opposite, because when you've put all that work into writing and editing and fact-checking, you don't want some sort of careless error in there. And careless errors happen. It has nothing to do with how much work you put in. They just happen. And that is why a slow, not a quick, proofreading is very important. And how an editor knows, this is what I've joked with other editors, there is no such thing as a quick proofreading, because the proofreading takes as long as it needs to make sure that there are no sloppy little errors that will take the reader out of the reality that you have created for them. You want the writing to be clean. You've worked on it too much to just give it a quick glance or a quick proofreading and then have something that you don't want in there be in there after you publish. But something that I have gotten a little pushback from, or I wrote an article about proofreading a long time ago, probably close to 10 years ago now, and I think proofreading is very artistic for some of the reasons that I've already mentioned. And I've gotten, or at least that article got some feedback. I've been criticized a little bit because of that traditional view of proofreading. No, proofreading is not artistic. You've already done the editing, you've already done the writing, you've already done the fact-checking. That is the big stuff. Proofreading is just that final check. How can it be artistic? And if it's not artistic, you're missing opportunities to make the writing better, whether it's your writing or someone else's writing. When you go in with a very careful, slow proofread, it is putting the final touches on a painting, those fine brush strokes in a drawing, those details that make everything more crisp and that help communicate your message more clearly. You can do that in proofreading. I'm very impatient, or I've gotten more impatient as I've gotten older. I get now why that happens. So a lot of things I'm very impatient about. And a lot of the YouTube videos that I watch and the channels that I watch are because I'm fascinated with how patient that person must be, either because the subject of their video requires a lot of patience, or just the filming of it, the dynamic filming of it takes so much patience that I don't have. But when it comes to proofreading I'm holding on to as the one aspect of my personal and professional life where I have a lot of patience for it, because I know how important it is. I can really put everything else aside. And that's what I'm talking about with these filters. When you take on a certain filter, this is the proofreading filter, you put to the side the editing filter, you put to the side the writing filter. I created a playlist for all of the creativity filters. So if you haven't seen the other videos where I've talked about a certain type of filter, there's a playlist. This is going to be the 4th video. Probably the final for a while too. We're ending with proofreading. So I have patience when it comes to proofreading. And if you want to take your writing up a notch, it is your time to be patient, even if you're not patient about a lot of other things. And a method that I use, which I guarantee will help improve your writing, is when you think it is final, when you are done with it. If you go through from the end of the document to the beginning and you read the last sentence of your writing, and then the second to last sentence, and then the third to last sentence, all the way up to the first sentence of your final draft, I guarantee you will find a mistake, or at the very least, some little tweak that will make it better. That is my money back guarantee. You get your money back if you can't make your writing better. You get your money back from how much you paid for this video if you don't find one way that you can improve your writing if you do that method. And that requires a very slow reading. There's no quick glance, there's no glossing over the text when you go from the end to the beginning, because you're not reading it the way that you've read it every other time that you have gone through it in all of your editing passes. You're looking at it from a different perspective, and you stop at every letter, you stop at every punctuation mark, you stop at the beginning of every sentence, you stop at the beginning of every paragraph. You're going through this so slowly because you're going through the text so slowly because you're putting the final touches on it. Does every comma make sense? Do you need to add a comma? Are there sentences that are repetitive? Are there sentences that are a little weak that you didn't catch before and you might need to add a little bit to make your thoughts more complete? That's where I've been criticized, because traditionally editors say, no, that's not proofreading. You're not adding any sentences in the proofreading phase. Well, if it makes the text better, yeah, I'd say you do need to add some sentences in the proofreading phase. And I've done that with other people's writing, and I've done that with my writing for the sake of making it better. And if that's your goal, I wouldn't put any limits on what is proofreading and what is editing. There can be overlap. So now it is your turn to tell me about your proofreading process. Give this video a thumbs up to help other writers find it. Subscribe so that you do not miss a video, or you can give it a thumbs down and unsubscribe. If you're still with me, I will talk with you soon.